have anything on affordable housing. Point number 3, there was a decision of the court, and this bill has not addressed it at all. Questions of discrimination are still there. Questions of violating the Constitution are still there. And discrimination in the nature that there is a mandatory requirement on salaried employees to contribute, but a voluntary requirement on other people, or a voluntary opportunity for others to contribute. There is no universal application of the law. Also, the court clarified between policy and implementation, but looks like the National Assembly and the executive have taken upon themselves the implementation role, which is supposed to be vested in the counties. Number 3, the Constitution requires access to housing. Affordable housing does not prescribe ownership of affordable housing. And all over the world, the state is always required to provide access, not ownership to housing. So where the Kenyan government is getting the impression that it can expand the Constitution or the Parliament, I don't know. Access cannot be read to mean ownership. So the entire act violates Article 43, Clause 1, Clause B, upon which it is purported to be anchored. Article, it's also an arbitrary denial of arbitrary deprivation of property from the salaried employees to demand that they should part with salaries in a forcible fund. It's a mechanism of forcing people into associations contrary to the Constitution. This thing is unconstitutional, and it will remain unconstitutional whatever color it takes, whatever shape it takes, whatever test it takes. It's unconstitutional. And finally, it's most unfortunate that we are debating an important bill and members are given only 4 minutes. It is not possible to give your ideas, to ventilate this bill in 4 minutes. If we are extending the time to a point when we are doing that, why are we giving ourselves 4 minutes? Why are we muscling? Why are we gagging people who would like to ventilate the bill? So I would like that to go on record that it was a wrong thing to do, to gag members by limiting the time by which they can debate. And I also support Senator for Isiolo, for Garissa, who said that the bill violates the principles of Islamic religion, which are specifically exempted under the Constitution when making bills. Thank you very much.
Senator Gloria Uroba.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I want to proudly support the affordable housing, Mr. Speaker, and not just because it creates jobs for the youth. Not just because it creates jobs, Mr. Speaker. I want to support this because it is what Kenya needs, Mr. Speaker. And by the way, we need to be alive to the fact that change is inevitable. Senators from the opposition need to understand that an election was won based on promises that were given to Kenyans. One of the promises being affordable housing. Mr. Speaker, and I have even heard Senator Ledama try to explain how we should not do housing because ABCD. And when I was listening to him, I was wondering, these senior members of this house must understand the difference between social housing and affordable housing, Mr. Speaker. We are not talking about social housing. Whatever Senator Ledama was trying to talk about was social housing. And Mr. Speaker, when the Kenya Kwanza government is done with affordable housing successfully, then we are going to move now to deal with the issue of social housing, because even that is necessary. So, Mr. Speaker, as I support this affordable housing bill, I must say again and again and again, change is inevitable and development will be brought to Kenya by force, by fire. And if there is anybody who is going to ensure that this country moves to where it needs to go, Mr. Speaker, I want to tell every member in this house that it is His Excellency William Samoei Ruto. because he is the commander-in-chief, and I can tell you, Mr. Speaker, today being we are from the Women Caucus, Mr. Speaker. I can tell you that the men who are opposing this affordable housing, half the time they are not even at home. They do not understand the deplorable houses that they are living. All the women who they have children with out there, Mr. Speaker. As a woman who is here in this house, Mr. Speaker, we want to live in conditions that are befitting for us women. So we are tired of living in the slums, and we are tired of you people just sending your baby mamas left, right, and center and coming to the house to fight affordable housing. Mr. Speaker, the president has the interests of all women at heart, and this is why when I support this bill, I want to say that I'll be at the front of that list to ensure that women are being prioritized, those women in the slums, those women who do not have any form of dignified living, Mr. Speaker. So I support this bill, and I urge Senator Ladama to go and read the difference between social housing and affordable housing. Thank you.
Senator Okiya Eddie.
Mr. Speaker, I thank you for this time, and I think that I want to take this time to speak to the people who sent me to this house, and the great people of Migori. The people of Migori, I want to report to you that in the National Assembly, 2 MPs of Kenya Kwanza, just in this past weekend, went to their villages and chased KRA officials away, opposing a bill on taxation and finance bill that they so much championed for. And I'm telling the people of Migori that I'm in a Senate today that I can see the same trend of people standing to support what is wrong. And I can assure the people of Migori that I want to stand with you, telling you that the way the structure of this bill is, I cannot support it. More importantly, the way the debate around this bill is being rushed in this house, the way it is being forced in the throat of you, the people of Kenya today in this house, we are being given 4 minutes to be able to discuss this bill. We have been forced to extend the house without participating in the conversation about that particular motion, the people of Migori. I am telling you that this is why, even during Moi days, the repealing of Section 2A came about. We are going to the dictatorial times of Moi, and it's not only happening at the